is no blemish on it. This is well tagged. You look at it, there is a tag on it, and it's coming right from the farm. If you look at the back, there is description of what the item is. It is pineapple, as you can see, and it's a product of Costa Rica. Okay, this product comes from Costa Rica. I have it right here. I'm in Ireland at the moment, the Republic of Ireland, and this was bought from the shop. Okay, I bought 3 of these for €2. 3 of these for €2. So €2 is going to give you about 400 naira per euros. That is 800 naira for 3 of these, 800 naira. Okay, when I was in Nigeria, we bought something of this size. When the price was good, in Benin City, they were going for like 250 naira for one. So 250 naira, 3 would give you like 750 naira. And so you can see these 3 are going here for roughly about 800 naira or 750 naira, depending on the calculation.
How to make it profitable? I really want to try to eat.
Hello and welcome to Community Reports. I am Yomi Otaigwe. A rating by the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, puts Nigeria as the #1 egg-producing nation in Africa, recording an average annual growth rate of 4% between 2000 and 2012, when output reached 640,000 tons. And with 708,000 metric tons of broiler chicken, Nigeria ranks 4th in production, following South Africa and some countries in North Africa. Now, behind these figures are men and women who engage in poultry farming in Nigeria. On the show this week, we have for you activities of some of these poultry farmers who work to ensure the production of thousands of tons of poultry products consumed in the country on a daily basis. A hatchery where eggs are hatched for new chicks. The layers chicken for egg production. And broilers for chicken meat. These are the major areas in poultry farming. Over the years, raising chickens have taken different forms in Nigeria. Some people, out of their passion or the need to improve their socio-economic status with little or no training, engage in backyard poultry farming. One of such people is Mrs. Folake Komolafe.
The poultry farming is born out of passion. Started 3 years ago. That day I was going out and I saw a bike man hawking a 4-week-old cockerel. So I decided to buy into it. So I bought 20 pieces. I brought them home. The way the man directed me to nurse them, I continued. So I discovered that at the end of 6 months, I lost only 2 out of 20. Presently, I have 500 layers that are laying. With poultry business, you don't have any spare time. Even to go out is a problem. You miss a lot of things, but at least at the end of it, you have something to, you have something to rest on.
Says the country loses billions of naira due to a shortfall in cassava supply. He says the country needs a minimum of 400 million litres of ethanol, yet it can only produce about 9 million due to a poor supply of cassava, the main material. TVC News' Kazim Olowe in this report takes a look at the untapped opportunities in cassava cultivation in Nigeria.
In the past, usage of cassava in Nigeria was limited to production of starchy foods like gari, fufu, akpu, cassava flour, chips, among others. But recently, thanks to modern researches, the list of things that can be derived from cassava has become long. Now, the use of cassava for the production of bread, chips, ethanol, among others, keeps growing. But unfortunately, majority of Nigerian farmers still rely on cutlasses and hoes to farm. This is one of the reasons supply of cassava cannot meet demand in the market, because aside from those who need cassava for production of foods, there are several others who need it for industrial purposes. Seka is the managing director of the biggest ethanol company in Nigeria. He told TVC News that since the start of operation in 2014, the company has not been able to produce to installed capacity due to lack of cassava.
We consume anything between 225 to 250 tons of cassava a day. 225 to 250 tons of cassava every day. And probably we are the biggest consumer of cassava as an industrial belt. But we are running between 60 to 75 to 80% of operations, but we have never reached 100% capacity. It is mainly because of non-supply of raw materials.
In an attempt to bridge the demand and supply gap, the African Agricultural Technology Foundation, with the support of the United Kingdom Agency for International Development, has introduced Cassava Mechanization and Agro-Processing Project (CAMAP) to encourage mechanized farming in the country. Currently, the project is in full operation in many states, including Kwara, Osun, Benue, Oyo, Kogi, Delta, and Ogun. Under the project, the only thing required from farmers or intending farmers is the land. The foundation has been supporting them with access to financing, plowing, application of fertilizers and herbicides, planting, harvesting, and linking of farmers to the off-takers who are ready to buy their produce at higher rates.
When I'm doing manually, I can able to do, let's say, 1-2 acre. I cannot be able to do something like 1 hectare, because to finish that 1 or 2 acres, it costs a lot. Even I have to get labor to help me do the 1 or 2. But by doing this, by mechanization last year, so it's more profitable.
In our old time method, we are only wasting our time.
Mr. Amos Kester. I'm a snail farmer. Snail farming is a unique business. It's a business anybody can go into with lots of confidence, but with patience and commitment. Those are the major characteristics of every snail farmer. Now, this is one of my major projects, most recent project here in Lagos. Today is actually the 16th day of December 2018. So I just rounded up with this. We have 108 pens here. The farm was stocked 2 days ago with 1,000 species of snails, the giant African land snail, and already we have over 70 eggs that have been incubated. Due to the fact that the day the snails arrived, we harvested about 53 eggs on that day, and the following day we also had about 20 or 21 eggs on the following day. So I'm just going to take you inside to show you what it looks like. It's just like every other project I've done, but this, as you can see, is always neat and tidy. And though it's a little bit messy inside because the carpenter just finished working today, as we stopped one part and they concluded the job on this other part. So I'll just show you quickly what it looks like inside, and we call it a day. So I'll just show you from where we start. This is exactly what it looks like. You can see it's neat and tidy, just that the carpentry stuffs are still on the ground, which we're going to clean up anytime soon. So this is what it looks like inside. You can see the snails. Some are already coming out to feed. That's watermelon there, one of the favorite foods for snails. So it's looking really good. So all you have to do is you just use this. These are our stakes, and you stake it like this, so you can do anything you want to do inside the pen. So as usual, we cover the snails with dry leaves, so you can see majority of the snails are inside the dry leaves, and in the night they would come outside to feed. So it's a small facility here, about small scale to medium scale. You can just see what it looks like. It's really neat and tidy. So if you want something like this, you can always give us a call through our YouTube channel or through our phone number +234 8068 525032. Snail farming is a business everyone should be looking at, because right now there are no competitors in the business, and it's something you can do quietly without anybody knowing you are into such type of business. So it's one of the areas of agriculture that is really coming up with full force, and everybody has to look into it. So if you want to get a farm of your own, you can always give us a call, leave a message on our WhatsApp page, and as well through that very phone number we gave to you. So thank you once again. The name is Mr. Amos Kester Ebiwe, your host on Snail Farming. Bye bye.
An assessment visit to prospective and functional rice farms in Bekwara local government area of Cross River State by the Presidential Task Force on Rice and Wheat Production, led by the Central Bank Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele. The aim is to assess the progress of the Rice Anchor Borrowers Program in the state, which has 3 billion naira allocation from the Central Bank for rice production.
They are all rice, and there are about 50 locations like this in Cross River.
With the provision of 18,000 square kilometers and 78,000 prospective farmers who are expected to produce up to 5 metric tons of rice per hectare, the state governor is optimistic about Cross River's rice yield in the near future. Nigeria consumes about 6 million metric tons of rice per annum, but produces less than half of that. The central bank governor believes that foreign exchange restriction on rice importation will boost Nigeria's chances of rice sufficiency before 2020, while the chairman of the Presidential Task Force on Rice and Wheat, Senator Atiku Bagudu, expects significant sufficiency by 2017.
What we have done is to restrict foreign exchange allocation to those who want to import rice. And as a result of that restriction, it has given a lot of encouragement to our farmers, not just through the Anchor program. There are people who were into rice farming before the importation flooded our country. Now everybody's jumping into the game, and they are beginning to see that now they can also be wealthy being rice farmers.
Last year in November, on November 17th, the President Muhammadu Buhari graciously launched the Anchor Borrowers Program, which is the Central Bank of Nigeria initiative to provide financing, adequate financing to our agricultural sector so that we can be self-sufficient in some crops and even begin to export them, especially those for which we utilize a lot of foreign exchange to import.
There are currently 40 integrated rice mills across Nigeria, which are expected to process up to 5 metric tons of rice per hour. The country has 36 silos targeted to store up to 100 million metric tons of rice. The CBN governor says the nation's scarce foreign reserve would not be used to import any agricultural product the nation has in abundance. The bank is also set to support anyone ready to farm rice, cassava, palm, and other agricultural products to feed the nation and create export opportunities. It's harvest time for Seidu Mohammed, a 59-year-old rice farmer from Nasarawa State. When he left his business 3 years ago, he took up rice farming. Today, he harvests more than 4,000 tons every year, which is about 400 bags.
The policy of the present government favor farmers this year. So if the policy can be sustained, definitely by next year we expect more harvest.
Entrepreneurship and how Nigeria's recent ranking in the ease of doing business indices is shaping up to be the most talked about news of competitiveness for businesses this side south of the Sahara. And the first entrepreneur on the program tonight is a Nigerian lady who turns trash into beautiful furniture pieces. She's Olamide Babajide, founder of Pearl Recycling. Olamide, it's so good to have you on Business Tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Let me start this way. The Nigerian government has been talking about localization after it slipped out of recession. And SMEs and entrepreneurship is one area it's focusing on now to be able to ensure that path towards growth. And it seems easy with this latest world doing business ranking. Raising Nigeria 24 places higher. That's very good for us. Now, how easy has it been for you with Pearl Recycling? Well, it's good to know that Pearl Recycling is a company that transforms recyclables like car tires, magazines, straws, plastics, and wood, among other things. Yes, how easy has it been? How did you start?
We started 2014, and but we became really legal in 2016. And sincerely, like I said, it was easy to register in 2016 compared to 2014. Because, you know, the bureaucracies of registering your company, going to middlemen was almost cut off. So it was more like you go there to register your company yourself. Yeah, I think that way, when you look at the parameters of registering a company, it's quite easy now to register a company. But then access to fund was quite hard, you know. So yeah, so far it's been good. I think that's it.
It's been good, and I know that many startups want to hear it now. How much did it take you to start? If you say access to capital, was good.
Well, I'm going to speak for a recycling business that I do. I do upcycling, which is quite different from what most recycling companies do. If you want to go in fully into recycling, you need a lot of capital, which was quite different from what I do. I needed just a little, like $5,000, which I was able to raise from a grant, you know, and that was what we used to start up. And I think it was enough to start up, because our business was the kind of business that generates its income regularly. So after
it sells itself.
Yes. So after we started with that money, we were able to make money to keep going, to sustain us. So yeah.
So tell.
At a factory in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos, workers are packaging dried fruits for sale. Real Fruit processes and packs various fruits, which are later sold to Nigerians who want to have healthier snacks. After working for a small business incubator in South Africa, Afyong Williams returned to Nigeria to set up the snack and beverage company. Launched in 2014 with an initial investment of $100,000 US, Afyong's business has grown to employ 17 people.
Well, I was actually attracted to this sector for a number of reasons. Firstly, I believe there's untapped opportunity in processing and value addition of raw materials, and I also believe that it's a very budding sector. There's a lot of opportunity, as well as the job creation, which I think is quite important to me as an entrepreneur, to be able to play in an industry that would create a lot of jobs.
Although the fruits are dried in a good state, Real Fruit packages the fruits in the capital and distributes the products to various stores across the country. But it hasn't been an easy ride for Afyong.
It was not easy introducing something new into the market, such as dried fruits. The market.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Academy. On today's episode, I have a very interesting guest with me. It's the co-founder of Wilson's Juice, Mr. Seyi Abolaji. It's great to have you with us on The Academy.
It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so could you share with us about Wilson's Juice as well as how it was founded?
Wilson's was founded on a very simple premise. We were trying to find fresh squeezed orange juice.
Okay.
And the things people were calling juice, we beg to differ. So we couldn't find real orange juice.
Okay.
So we decided, I used to play professional football, soccer.
Okay.
My brother was playing basketball at university. And, we wanted to keep fit, maintain a healthy lifestyle. And it was hard to do this with the hectic pace and everything going on here. So a simple thing like orange juice we couldn't find. So we just saw that little opportunity. So we started with about 2,000 naira, a plastic juicer, and a bag of oranges. And we're not far from Covenant University here. So we rented a little kiosk there. We couldn't pay for our first month's rent, so they let us pay at the end of the month. So with about 2,000 naira, started fresh squeezed juices and smoothies.
But when did it start? When did Wilson's Juice start?
Well, so Wilson's Juice is a bit of a funny story. Wilson's Juice was registered March 2015.
That
right?
was
just a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago. But we started the company really in 2009, 2010.
Okay.
So you see on all our things, we say established 2010. So when we said we established this company, we established the day that we decided to put the juice in a bottle.
Okay.
That was our founding date. Whatever we called it then, I don't know what we called it, like flourish juice or awesome juice or something, I don't know. But so we were doing this lemonade in the cup.
Okay.
So I was based here. My brother would be coming in and out from the U.S.
Okay.
And one evening he saw us, the students on campus. Our table was maybe a little bit bigger than the space we had. Maybe about 50, 60 students just shoving money in our faces. That's my cup of lemonade. He just saw the rush and he was like, hey, what are you guys doing? At the end of the night, we felt good, counting money. And he was like, there's a better way to do this. Why don't I just put this thing in a bottle and I just cut out a little bit of the stress. So that night we went around, we picked up old bottles on the floor. We went home, we washed them. They were clean.
So they were clean.
We washed them and then we put our lemonade in a bottle.
Okay.
And the next day we sold 2 bottles of lemonade. And everybody working with us at the time was saying, no, just nobody wants them in the bottles, doesn't do this, but.
To provide actionable information that citizens can use, we thought it wise to visit a sachet water industry. And here we are in Lagos at Bell Oaks Laboratory, producers of Ellison sachet water, one of the best brands that you can trust. So come with me as we go in and see the process of how your potable water is made.
The borehole, which according to NABDA must be a minimum of 180 feet deep, but the water comes directly into this tank. So it's from the top one that it goes into the factory. We have what we call a micro filter. This is 1 micron. In other words, if something is 1 micron big, which is not likely, it might go through this. Then it gets into 0.5 micron, which makes it harder for anything to go through. And then it goes to the activated carbon filter. From here, from these filters, it goes through the UV. It's from the UV, after the UV that it gets into the machine. When it gets there, it's filled, and the machine itself seals it and cuts it. That is when they now pack it into bags. Assuming you want to do bottle, from this point, it will go to the connected bottle line and it's filled the same way. That's why the shelf life of this is 30 days max, while bottled water is almost a year. So the difference is in the packaging. If you want to do it right, I can't give you a figure. That would be difficult because it depends on how you want to do it. But to start with, you have to put a cost for infrastructure. That is the building. Now, NABDA says your building must be separated from any living quarter. You know, that people should not live inside of where you are producing. So the whole idea is to ensure that, you know, human contamination could be had. That we are ensuring that we're not contaminating our product, but somebody who doesn't know, if he lives in this compound, he can do something that he thinks is right, which is wrong.